Hey everyone. I'm going to do a balance this afternoon about peace. I was listening to an interview with Mike Adams and Steve Quaid, someone like that. Anyway, and it was a very long interview, a couple of hours. But what piqued my curiosity was that both of these guys were talking a couple of years ago about how things were going to roll out on the planet, and just about everything they've said have been coming true. And here in Australia, all sorts of shenanigans are still going on. We have an incredibly bullying governments across Australia, not just one, it's many. And it's really interesting when you look around the world, and I can see similarities going on all over the place. And one of the comments was made that it's peace that has been taken from people in the last few years. And I've been thinking a bit about that because that's sort of how I feel around that March 2020. It's like my peace got taken away. And I've been thinking about it, and then I was just listening to Amazing Polly, and she did a piece a couple of days ago where she was talking about Kanye, Ye, and he was on Alex Jones, and she was talking about how bizarre it was, and then he put there was an icon, a picture that he put up on Twitter, and that was too much for Elon. So Elon, has suspended him off Twitter again. But the symbol, which was a combination of the Star of David and a swastika, it's known to be something, I can't remember the word they were talking about, it's something like Aurelian. So when you look into this Aurelian thing, it's to do with real woo-woo stuff, sort of to do with the combination of alien races and them giving birth to humans, and it was all very bizarre what this Aurelian symbol meant. And of course it was all very rainbow in the middle, not that there's anything wrong with that. But Elon Musk, but they give these awards to people who do things that they're proud of. And earlier on in 2022, they gave the award to Elon Musk. So there was Elon saying, "That ain't love, man," and kicking Ye off Twitter. Anyway, it's sort of funny, isn't it? It's like so many people on the planet are just pushing the bear at the moment, or poking the bear. And so the people that I know who have peace on the planet are probably those with the head in the sand the most, because they just don't want to know what's going on. I've got so many of my clients who say, well, thank God I'm in my 60s, 70s, 80s, and I don't have to be here as all of this rolls out. And I say, yeah, but what about your kids and your grandkids? Don't you want to stand up and try to make the world a better place? But then maybe some people, all they've got in their soul, all they've got left in their cells, all they've got left in that little bucket of courage inside, maybe all they can do is bring themselves back into having that moment of peace. And so that's my thinking coming this up, because I've been really flat. There's that big thing going on in New Zealand at the moment where these parents have just had their child taken away from them because they didn't want to have this operation in the way that the state of New Zealand, the CCP of New Zealand, is making them do. So now they have no control over their little 4-month-old baby. And this sort of thing is going to get worse as governments become more and more controlling, and as Big Pharma takes more and more control over every aspect of our lives. And certainly here in Australia, I'm interviewing on my podcast on Monday, that's The Natural Alternative with Madonna Guy, I'm interviewing Dr. William Bay again to talk about the changes in the legislation here in Queensland, where actually I was listening to another interview early on today with Mel Kay and Richard Fleming. And Dr. Richard Fleming, he's a physicist, a lawyer, and doctor in cardiovascular health, I think. So he's a bit of a smarty pants. And he actually worked with the Nobel laureate Luc Montagnier from France. So when the whole HIV thing was going on, so he's a pretty smart cookie. And he actually wrote a paper years ago, which was about people who shouldn't be practicing without a license. But people often see that paper, Practicing Without a License, Dr. Richard Fleming, and they assume that he's he's practicing without a license, which once again is pretty funny, the way that people twist things to suit their agenda. But, you know, nothing to see here. That's not going on around the planet at the moment. And anyway, so it feels like, to me, it feels like the globalists are just ramping things up at such a speed that I'm hoping they're starting to make mistakes, which is why everyday people are starting to see stuff in, where was it? Oxfordshire. If you haven't seen this one, go check it out. The concept of 15-minute zones is becoming more and more popular. The United Nations has grabbed it and they think it's fantastic. And the World Health Organization is wanting to push it forward as a way of saving the planet. And here we have Brisbane in Queensland and Melbourne in Victoria. Of course, our very, very controlling leaders have decided, yeah, that's a great idea. So all of these places are pushing forward having these 15-minute zones, which means that when they want for climate change, they can lock us into a zone to save the planet, where you'll be only able to exercise, and you'll have to have face recognition, of course, and car recognition, so you know they'll be able to track everything you do. And of course, the World Economic Forum, they said this mid-2020 in their middle of the year 2020 meeting, they said, well, how fabulous it was looking at these lockdowns, because all of these same strategies could be used to save the planet. And of course, 400 globalists just took their own jets to the COP27 meeting. So, you know, let's say monkey see, monkey do. Can't they jolly well take an economy plane? But no, they get their own planes. It's all just a little bit silly, isn't it? Anyway, so all of that has been taking away my peace. So I'll be doing a balance on peace in just a little while. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.